Now, first of all, he configurates, he combines Trayvon Martin and all them with immoral lifestyles. I hate to say it. He's a stone Democrat. That's all that is. That's just pure politics. That's the way they talk. Put things together that don't go together. There's a difference between what happened to Trayvon Martin and two men licking and lapping all over each other. There's a world of difference between the two. And if you can't see the difference, you were born without a brain. There's a difference. See, they expect black folk to be simpletons. And he goes down there and says, I want to apologize for pastors who have hurt you. Who hurt them? Nobody's burnt their church down. Nobody's beat them up. The man, I guess the man in the zebra colored coat and the next guy, I guess they're married to each other. And so he's down there apologizing on behalf of pastors. You do not speak for me. You do not speak for us. And those who are streaming today, if he doesn't speak for you, put it in the comment section. There'll come a time when you have to speak up. And I don't want to invite no whole region, but there's something wrong with Atlanta. Lord have mercy. We got to pray against that principality that's set over that city. And you young men, I hope you saw how them young sissy boys were shouting. So you know not to shout like that. Lest I come and correct you in the middle of your dance. Hold it. Let me show you how to shout right. Y'all don't like me today. Not only that, but show where he teaches another gospel. I want to
applicable for your grandmother means nothing to you. And so I said, I had a Zoom with all of my singles just this week, is that for me to tell 16-year-olds to be celibate is one thing. A 37-year-old who's used to getting some, I need a different kind of gospel.
All right. The first lie he told was that what was true for one generation is not true for another. When the Bible says God's truth endureth to all generations. Number one, God's truth. Psalms 100 and verse 5, the last clause, endureth to all generations. So what was true yesterday is true today. And then to say to a 16-year-old, be celibate, that's one thing. Because, I guess he want to, but let me just move on. But to a grown person who's used to getting some, that's another. Now, I do give him credit for telling the truth in it. He said, that's another gospel. Now let's give him a hand, because that's true, because that ain't the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's some made up junk. And Paul said that if they come any other way with another gospel, Paul said it is not the gospel. The true gospel teaches everybody to live holy, to live right. But he has a tremendous congregation who amens all that stuff. Same preacher who said his church will use the property to grow cannabis. These things we can't unite under. You can't say, well, he's a brother and I'm a brother, man, and two brothers ought to work together. Come with brothers, brother. Come on, brother, man. Brother, nothing. We're not brothers in that regard. No, ain't no kin to you at all. We ain't got nothing in common. Not at all. Because that's not right. This is the same preacher one Sunday while preaching in favor of a woman's right to choose. On that same Sunday, they had a christening, a child dedicating service. And people brought their children up to be dedicated by that preacher. But the preacher just got through preaching in favor of abortion. You gonna let those hands dedicate your child? See, it's things like this that you don't want to have to deal with. But here's the problem for those who are not pastors. And I don't know what it's like when it comes to you, but when you are a leader, for the leader to say nothing, indifference is an endorsement. The assumption is if we don't say anything about it, then we go along with it. Well, I don't want nobody to misunderstand Patrick Wooden. Patrick Wooden doesn't go along with that at all because it's not Bible. The Bible teaches that we should teach those things that are of sound doctrine. Sound doctrine, on the positive sense, is preaching things to people that is healthy, spiritually and physically, and will get you to heaven, that will set you free, that will cause you to love God, that will point you to the Bible. The negative aspects of sound doctrine is you got to point out falsehood. You got to point out error. You got to call it out. You got to show the difference between truth and error. And that's what we're doing here today. You need to know that when you see these things, that is error. And you can't go along with it, even though God is calling for unity in the body. But you can't just have unity. It has to be unity built on truth. Are you with me?